Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful glaze chart. Watercolor is transparent, and when you take one color and put it on top of another color, you get a third color, sort of like when I layer this green ruler on top of this orange one. Watercolor glaze charts can help you understand how your colors work together, and you'll get to spend a lot of quality time with a ruler. So let's try it.
You'll have to do some measuring to make this chart, and in my case I use centimeters. First, count how many colors you have, then multiply that number by 2. I have 14 colors, so my number is 28. That means I'll need to make a 28 centimeter square. And then, everybody trusts me on this one, add a half centimeter to that number, whatever it is. So now that means I will make a square that is 28.5 by 28.5 centimeters. Use a pencil to draw this square on a piece of watercolor paper, and since you're going to tape it to a board later, you'll need to leave a small border around the square. Then start measuring down each side, making a dot starting at 0.5 centimeters, followed by a dot 1.5 centimeters later, then a 0.5 centimeter dot, followed by another 1.5 centimeter dot, and continue down the rest of the side. 0.5, 1.5, 0.5, 1.5, and so on. You're going to do this on all 4 sides, and I'm really sorry about that. Connect your dots to create a grid. You'll have a series of fat rows and skinny rows. Tape the chart to a board, label the names of your colors in the fat rows, and then you can finally start painting. I used a flat brush that's about 1.5 centimeters wide, but you can use a round brush if you like. The idea is to stay in the lines if possible. Mix water with your colors so they flow. You don't want the paint to be super thick. You want to see through it but still recognize the color, not some wimpy pastel version. Then carefully paint your colors in the fat rows, going back for more paint when you need it. I started with Opera, my hot pink color, and moved through the full spectrum: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and brown. Once you're done, you should have a rainbow-colored set of stripes. Let them dry for a couple of hours. The paper might buckle a bit at first, but if you've taped it down, it will flatten out as it dries. When I was in college, this was the first watercolor assignment. The measuring and labeling and layering were boring and annoying. I just wanted to paint. But it is really helpful to see how these colors work together, especially if the paints are new to you. Once the stripes are really, really dry, you'll do the same thing going across your grid, glazing over the stripes in the same order as before. Feel free to turn your board any direction that's comfortable. I think painting left to right is a lot easier than painting vertically. Sometimes I take my ability to mix colors for granted. I'll look at really anything, like the tree outside my window, and in my mind I'm mixing paint colors it would take to duplicate that tree. Today it's cadmium yellow medium, cadmium red light, phthalo yellow green, and some sepia. And that little color equation came to me in less than a second. It's a gift and a curse. If you're talking to me and I'm looking at you, I'm also probably mixing you. I've worked with these colors so much that I just know what they'll do. It's like when a chef combines a handful of ingredients you assume have no business being in the same recipe, but somehow they taste amazing together. Where did the chef learn how to do that? I think it must be similar to painting. There's some talent, sure, but it's backed up with a lot of practice. And now that we've got our chart, what can we learn from it? Look for surprises. See what happens when 2 totally different colors are glazed. Phthalo yellow green and Dioxazine Mauve create a lovely yellowish brown, and Cadmium Red Light and Turquoise make a sort of midnight blue. Look for beautiful combinations. I'm crazy about the purple created by Opera and Ultramarine Blue, and Permanent Green Light and Cadmium Yellow Light make a gorgeous spring green. Look for what I'm going to call bleeders. Sometimes a dry color will activate no matter what you put on top of it. You can see magenta oozing into the green here, and the Alizarine Crimson faded a bit when glazed with purple. Look for sediment. Certain pigments will settle into the tiny depressions in the paper. You can see little bits of pure opera on the left, and the cadmium yellow over the ultramarine blue creates a green that is a little more yellow in places and more blue in others. You'll notice that this chart gives you 2 of each color combination, and some look the same, but others don't. These 2 examples tell me that ultramarine blue looks better when it's on top of cadmium red light. When cadmium red is on top of the blue, the result is not as consistent. It's helpful to put this chart up where you can see it as you paint, especially while you're still getting to know your colors. It's not the most fun or creative project, but I think you'll find it's worth your time. Good luck with your chart, and thanks for watching.